Hello, and welcome back to Kitty Talks Dogs. Today I'm going to groom a poodle, but it's going to be commercial, so fast grooming, quick grooming, and special for the people who don't want to have a lot of maintenance. And my name is Kitty. I've been grooming since 1985. I never say I'm the best groomer, but I like to share my knowledge and my years of experience in grooming with you. If you have any questions, you're very welcome to put them down below. We will answer all your questions. And if you have interest in any of the products I'm using, there's a link down below that will take you directly to our blog and to the website where you can buy the products. This video is also made up in different sections. So if you look down below and you push more information, you can push this section that is really interesting for you. I will show you how to clean the ears, do the nails, do the washing, why I'm using a certain shampoo, the drying, the scissoring. So all these sections, you can just go to the section that is interesting for you. So this is Hazar today we have with us. Hazar is a poodle, and we are going to do Hazar commercially. We are going to do Hazar quite short today. And Hazar's real name is Will Turner from Risia Love. And Hazar is born in 2019. And Hazar loves to play with everything, with toys, with ropes. And Hazar goes walking a lot. And Hazar lives with one other poodle and a child. Hazar is very calm. Hazar is also very social with other people. And it's a really fun dog to have in the house. Hazar is owned by Melanie Vervaeke in Belgium, and Hazar is groomed like every 2 weeks has a bath, and every 8 weeks has a cut with the scissors. Because I have to do Hazar short and commercial, I've chosen to use the Laguna clipper today. The Laguna clipper is a fantastic clipper. It comes with 6 blades, and it has like a very high touring. It's from 5,000 to 7,000 RPM, so it's quite a strong clipper. Although it's light, low vibrating, I love using the Laguna. It's very easy because you charge it with a USB cable, and it's just a very nice clipper to use. For the brushes, we chose the Show Coat Slicker and the Tougher Than Tangles. We will start with the Tougher Than Tangles. And then for the ear products, I chosen the Ear Care Solution, the ear powder, the cotton buds, and the Safety Ear Forceps. For the shampoo, we've chosen to use the Super Clean 40 because we want to have a very deep clean, and then we want to have a special shampoo for volume coats, which is the Rise and Shine, and we are also going to use the Rise and Shine conditioner. I'm going to start with putting the finger condoms on because this is going to give me a lots of grip, and together with the powder we're going to pull out the hair, and then when all the hair is gone I'm going to clean out the wax with the Ear Care Solution together with the big bamboo cotton buds, and then the ear flap I'm going to clean with the wet wipes. These little pots are like very fun. You can put rubber bands in them, you can put small things in there, and I like it very much because they're very easy in use. Okay, so let me have a look to Hazar. So it's for sure not dirty. I'm just going to put some powder on the ear, outside of the ear, and just do that. This hair I also will take off. I'm gonna not too much at the time, just so little hairs like this. Okay, and now the other side. Start again. Just sprinkle a bit of the powder in and around the ear. Just rub it open. And then slowly. Not too much at the time. It's sensitive. So here in the small ears we can't go any further, and now as we are, I'm just going to take the forceps. These are the safety forceps. I like them because they have a very big point, and sometimes it's dangerous to go picking in the ear, but with these I have a feeling, because they are so big and rounded, they are like safe in going quite deep in the ear. So here I'm trying to like stretch the skin upwards and then go inside. So you don't have to be afraid of like stretching and going quite deep with the tweezers. So this can go, you can fill up the ear, and this is gonna dissolve all the wax inside and all the dirt. So normally when you see the ear is full, you can just give the dog a small massage. And then you will hear it. And just leave it for 30 seconds. Also the other side. It's very easy, just sprinkle like this, and you will see the ear is full now with the product. And then a small massage. And wait 30 seconds for the active ingredients to dissolve all the dirt and the wax. These cotton bamboo buds are like very fun to use. They're 100% natural with very soft cotton on two sides, so the big parts, and in between the small creases you have the little part, and the stick is bamboo, so they're very sustainable. They don't have any problems with them. And what I like to do is I like to wet them a little bit. So I reckon when they're a bit moist, then they are more softer to use, and they can absorb much more. But now they are already like damp, and here you will see you can go really deep down inside, and it's gonna get out all the dirt. Not that Hazar's ears are very dirty, but they have some wax, which is normal. And then we can turn around, and with the small other end, we can go in other creases, between those little creases here. Voila. I also, I like to stretch the ear at the bottom to go deep inside. And then I'm turning around to make the small creases to go inside and to clean all other parts. Voila. And now the last part, I'm going to do the ear flap itself with a wet wipe. Because with a wet wipe you can really go like rubbing the ear. Voila. And now the other side. Hazar, now your ears are finished. They're squeaky, they smell good, and now we're gonna do the nails. Today I want to do the shaving work first, because to show you about the nails, if I do the shaving work first, all these hairs are going to be gone, and it's going to be nicer for you to see how long the nails are. So let me show you the shaving work at the feet first. I have the Laguna blade with the fine blade here, and I'm just going to go first on the top part of the feet. So here I'm just trying to go the top part. I'm like holding it at the bottom here, and if I want to pull, I'm going to pull at the like between here. I'm going to hold it here to like put the hair in front. And let me show you where the line is. I'm just going to try here. So the line here is just at the angle where the pad starts, this line here. And then this line I'm going to take all the way to the front. And that line I'm going to try to find at the back of the pad here. So this part here, this little bit hair has to go too. And now you will see like a very clean, at the back I already have a very clean line. You have to be a bit careful not to do this, because now I have like a line from there to there, and you don't need to go any further, because if you go any further it's not going to be very nice. So this line is very important to have a good finishing with my scissors. It's important that this line is very well straight and well done, and not too high. And once that is done, then I can go towards the feet itself. And now I'm just going to go do the outside. I'm not really in between the fingers yet. I'm just going to carry on doing the outside first. You have to be careful with the feet, because the feet are very sensitive. So it's important you don't push too much with your blade. And now I'm going to, with my one finger underneath and with my thumb on top, I'm going to like open the finger and then go in between. And I can use the little point here to do that, and also here. So when we're happy with in between here, we can go to the next finger. And now I'm doing the top part. I'm gonna push my finger in between and on top, so the fingers open. And go slowly in between. Now the next part. See, I'm like pushing the fingers open from the bottom. And now it's all squeaky clean. And now for the bottom part, I'm just going to take my finger here and take this one finger and another finger and turn it around a bit like this. And then I can scoop out everything from the bottom. and here you see a finished foot. Before we take the next foot, I'd like to explain something about blades and overall clipping between the feet. You have many dogs that will start pulling, and this is normal, because imagine you having something who vibrates and make noise between your toes. You would also find it tickly and not very pleasant. But to make it as pleasant as possible, we have some tricks. So I have to show it on my hand. So what we did was we first did the top part, and that's no problem because it's on the top. Where it gets tickly is here in between. As you can see, this is the most dangerous part because this is like a skin. Our skin is much thicker than the skin of the dog, and I'm very happy with this clipper because, first of all, this clipper blade has the teeth are very narrow to each other, so because they're so narrow, it's safer to go in between, so the skin doesn't get in between these blades and you can, hurt the dog. A second thing, this clipper blade is much rounded, so it's very soft in use. And even though accidentally, if the dog does that and you like take it, it's not so very sharp. So I'm also very happy about that fact. The Laguna has different settings for the blade. If we do the fingers or the feet, we take the Laguna at the most short position, and this will make sure we have all the nice hairs with us. It's also very important when you are clipping, you don't do that. So you clip here and you don't follow it and do that, because actually, when I normally teach live, I ask people to do that to themselves. So you go in between and then you turn around. It's not a very pleasant feeling, so I always just go clipping between, stopping there and then doing this and doing this, but I don't do that because it's not really very pleasant. In the back, it's the same. Actually, I personally always like to do the line first. So I can just go here, go finding where the pad starts and follow that line then to the side. And then when I turn over, I can just follow this line all the way around. Then it's the same. I like push the nails a bit down and do the front all the way. And then if the dog lets you, you can do the pads. So I like to turn them around like this and then just scoop the hairs out easy. Just turn them over, don't push it very much. And then you can easily and if you do this, you're actually also already working on the front side a little. It's going to make it easier in a bit when I do the front side. Voila. Okay. Now the front side, I think the top part is done. So this now here I'm gonna like push with my thumb open, and with my other finger I'm gonna open the paws up, and then just go from the nail to there, stop, and also other side from the nail, go there and stop. Voila. Now the last one, finding where the pad starts to make the line. Careful not to go too far. So if the pad starts there, I make a line straight to there. So this hair can go, but not down to there, just from there to there. And then I do the side at the same point as where I made it just before, to there. And if you lift it, you will see the start of the line. I'm going to go the side until where I had the point before. So from there to there. And I also clean out this a bit. And now I can do the front part. Now I'm like opening the toes a bit. I'm pushing against the nail and going under it. And now I'm going to do the same here. You see me? I'm pushing against the nail and going to there and stopping, not going any further. And then here I'm going to go there. It's important when you're doing this that you don't push too much. And the importance of using a small clipper is I'm using the clipper with the tips of my fingers, so I'm not like holding that. And I'm convinced when you do this, you have more feeling, and because you're only using the tips of your fingers. And if you hold the clipper with the tips of your fingers, it's like you feel more what you're doing, and you won't push too hard. And as a result, the dogs will stand still and don't mind going in between the small feet and the small toes. It's also important you use a clipper who's not vibrating very much. Like this one, there's nearly no vibration. And the advantage of these blades, you don't actually see this, but this blade is like with the last new technology, and it's stainless steel with ceramic, and on top of the ceramic it has a layer of titanium. It means that you can use the clipper for very long. The clipper blade will never come too hot. And it's also a very big advantage if your clipper blade doesn't come too hot, because imagine having a vibrating clipper between your toes, and on top of that it's too hot. So I'm very careful with that, and you know, dogs don't deserve that. So before we start with the nails, I always want to have this very, very, very close to me, because this is for if we go too far, it can't be very far away from you. If we go too far, the nail will start bleeding, and I don't want to have a rush then with the blood going everywhere. So when I do the nails, I really like to have everything which I might need very close to me. But we won't need it, will we? Come on, let's clip. So here, as you can see, this is like a flat part. And if I just do this, I can just clip off a bit. And if I clip at the flat part, I will normally not go too far. This is not necessary. So as you can see, Hazar's nails are really not too long. So here I'm like making very small bits, like the guillotine is very, very sharp. And with the guillotine, you can make slices like 1 millimeter thick. You don't need to be careful, or it's just the guillotine I like using because you can slice small pieces at the time to go further. And it's one of my favorite nail clippers. So you can look, and if necessary, you can do a bit more. But Hazar's nails are really not very long. There you go. So this one can go a bit, maybe a bit more. Voila. and the rest I will do with the grinder. So for nail maintenance, this is one of my favorite tools. This is the Showtech nail grinder, and it's just so fun to use. You can use it with this. If you are doubting, these little holes are specially to put the nails in, so you can just do this and just do this as well, or even this. But if you have a bit more experience, you can take this off and just use it as it is. The only thing you need to do is be a bit careful, because this is turning, and if the hair gets in there, it's going to turn around and it's going to be not very pleasant. So you just have to be careful from all the hair. That's why we nicely do it out of the way, and then just go with the nail grinder around the nail and around on the side. So we are actually making it round. So when the dog jumps on you, you don't have any hard or edges. It's nice rounded. And if you do that weekly, you can shorten the nails by doing this and never have to use nail clippers. I'm holding the nail, and then I'm putting my thumb onto my other thumb, and then I'm using my thumb as a pivot. And if you have contact with the dog while you're doing that, the dog can start shaking, and it's just a good way to do that, and a safe way as well. Imagine you're going here and you're going like this, and then the dog starts shaking. So that's why one of the things that I like to do is hold the nail, put my thumb on top of my other thumb, and just do it like that. So the nail grinder has two speeds, and this is 1 and this is 2, but I normally always put it on the highest speed. Voila. Voila. Nice and round. So also the top I like to do, and then the two sides. Some nails are easier than the others. It's very easy. And as you can see, the dog is not doing anything. It's also comfortable for the dog. Voila. And now we're ready to shave the face. I like to do the face before the bath. Nevertheless, if you have a very dirty dog, you can do the face after the bath as well. But when you do it before the bath, you can easily clean and wash the face. So maybe the part around the eyes, when that's really sticky, you can just after the bath once more go over it if necessary. The Laguna comes with a fine blade, and we also have a medium blade. The difference is the fine blade is for fine coats, for little dogs, and the medium one is for the larger dogs. For example, the standard poodle, we would do the face with the medium one, and also the American Cocker face, but today we have the fine one. And the Laguna has different settings, like you have 1.9, 1.6, 1.3 millimeter. And this is just making it, this is the shortest way, and then you can go like 2 back. I like this setting for small faces so they're not too short. And I start with the second setting, but if I have too much hair, I can still go one shorter or even the shortest setting. I like this setting because it feels good to me and it's also a little personal. So let's start with that setting. So here now you see me like on the ear going, cleaning that hair, and I'm just gonna, once that's done, I'm gonna take a line from there to the corner of the eye. Voila, and I can do that a few times to make the line very clear. And I can also take the line like this, and this means that I'm already gonna have some shaving work done or scissoring work done. Voila. Shaving the face is like making sure the hair is, the skin is like a little stretched, and then you can like shave in one way forward. And here I'm going everything against the growth of the coat, and I'm going against everything in front of my fingers of my hand is against, and everything from my hand is with direction. So here I'm just going to do that and make it low. And where to stop here? Well, it's actually very easy. You go there, you stack the dog, and at a certain point the dog is going to go in because his chest is going in. Well, you feel with your hand, and where it's going in you stop, and you just not stop directly because then you'll have a line here, but we do, like a natural line. We like fly a bit in the air to have a very natural stop and not like a very direct stop. And also now we'll first do the other side. So clean the hairs on the side of the ears. And then once we have that, we make a line from the cheeks to the corner of the eye. You have to do the line a few times. Okay. Here you can see some more like hairs I didn't get the first time. It's very important this line is correct. So after the bath, when we want to scissor, then it's going to be very easy to scissor. And now I have to think about the tongue. So when I go towards the mouth, I'm like holding my hand with my finger and with my thumb. I'm gonna not hold it very firm, but I'm gonna like push the muzzle a little to hold it closed, because while I'm working here, I don't want Hazard to start licking and taking his tongue out. So it's important that it's safe. And here now I'm going to take up the lip here with my finger and push with my thumb backwards, and then I'm going to like go here under and scoop out all the hairs on the lip. So here, as you can see from slow, the hairs are like growing this way, but this hairs are growing that way. So if you want to go against the direction, you need to turn the clipper around and go a few times like this without pushing towards the skin too much. And here the hairs are growing upwards, so to have a nice finish you need to go like turning around a bit, and just now between the eyes, straight forward down. Voila. Okay, now this side as well. Now going back. And here I'm gonna like take the muzzle and hold it so she's not, or he's not licking. So here with my thumb again, and I'm gonna stretch the skin a bit so I can go under here nice and easy. While I'm holding its muzzle closed, now I can go around the nose, making sure also under here I have everything, all the little hairs. And now I'm ready for the sensitive areas, and I'm going to put the clipper at the longest way, because we don't want to go too short underneath or between the legs, so we don't want to have any irritation. So I like to lift the leg up and take all the hairs here. Also here, I even like to, I'm not sure Hazar is used to this, but when you have puppies, and I'm not sure he will let me do this, but if you have a light dog, while the hairs here are stretched, I like to do the tummy like this. For dirty willies and like not getting any goo between the sensitive blades, I like to use the speed clean. I just spray it on there, and it's gonna like clean the willy very quickly. Voila. Voila. And that product doesn't need to be rinsed, so it's very easy in use. Other side. So this dirty hair between the legs I like to get rid of. Voila. And I think this can wait here because it's also quite dirty, or maybe we can clean a bit. So Hazar is now ready to go in the bath. I'm just gonna go slightly over the coat with the brush. This is the Tougher Than Tangle brush. It's the regular one. It's a very good brush for dematting or for regular work. It's also a very good brush for doing drying. Until it's nearly, or until the coat is nearly dry, And then afterwards we use a finer one for finishing the drying. So I do this because in the bath we are like rubbing the coat, putting product on, and just to make sure it's just freshly groomed and freshly brushed before we go into the bath. For me, it's like gaining time, so that's why I'm just going to go over slightly. Okay. Voila, ready to go into the bath. We're ready for a wash. Voila. I'm actually super excited to use the super pump bather system because it's my first time, since it's a new pump. It's very powerful. It has a new system for the filter, and I haven't experienced it myself. And even Hazar is all excited about the pump. It's very easy. You have to like fill the bath, the bottom of the bath, a bit with water. And like a few centimeters is enough. So that's more than enough water. And now I can show you how much shampoo to put into the water. So in the pump, as I said before, we don't need to use a lot of shampoo. So actually 1 spoon or a small spoon is more than enough. So now we can just put this in the water. For the people that don't know this washing system, this is like for saving time, effort, and shampoo and water. And it recirculates the water on the dog. And the powerful system makes sure there's like just the good pressure, and it also sucks up some air, and together it's just a very nice way of washing. To start washing, the only thing we need to do is press the air system, and now it's going to start washing. Now the only thing we need to do is like go over the coat. So this gives a very good massage, and it's like the pressure is high, and it's washing very deep inside the coat and the skin. As you can see, it's very foamy. And actually, I think I've used a little bit too much shampoo because it's really a bit too much foamy. If you use too much shampoo, you lose pressure because it's all bubbles. And here I have the feeling, even with 1 spoon, I've used a bit too much. Voila, a tummy wash. So to stop washing, the only thing we need to do is push the off button here, and here we go. And now we can unplug the water so the water goes away. The only thing we need to make sure is now we wash once more the face a bit. You want the... Okay, and now we need to rinse. Whoops. So Now you see me like rinsing and rubbing the coat, and the shampoo is still in there. I feel it because I feel it being slippy, but once I have like that squeaky that I can't like rub over the coat without being like stopped, that's the time that the shampoo is all out there and that you can stop like rinsing. In the meantime, I'm like going in all the parts where I can, like in between, under there, under the tail, and like squeezing the water out and feeling if there's any shampoo left. Also now I'm just gonna go a bit in the ear to make sure all the shampoo is out of the ear, because the shampoo is not a problem, but I guess if the shampoo stays in the ear, it's like going to irritate a bit, and that's dangerous for getting ear infections. So I prefer just slightly going into the ear to rinse a bit. Voilà. Next, conditioner. And now there's always the question, should we use conditioner or not? I'm for using conditioner because when you feed the coat with nutritional oils and waxes, you have a coat which is easy maintainable. So yes, I like to use the conditioner very well. I'm first now here going to make sure the coat is still a bit wet, and I'm just gonna put some conditioner on my hand and just put it everywhere on the dog, pure, because this conditioner is especially for volume coats. It's not very oily or fatty, it's more waxy, and it's going to make sure that the hair is going to be easy drying, quick drying, and it's going to give me some lift, some volume. So for people who are afraid it's going to weigh down the coat, no, it's not. It's going to make sure that you can maintain the coat well and you can dry it fast. And actually for scissoring, it's important that every single hair is straight, as straight as possible for easy scissoring. And if you use some conditioner, I reckon it's easier to do that. Zarto, what's wrong? You don't like the bath, don't you? Okay, that's ready. Now we have to like wait for 5 minutes for the oils and the waxes to go like absorbing the coat. And after 5 minutes we can start rinsing. Okay? Okay, so that's now 5 minutes. Now let's start rinsing. So here as well, it's important to rinse thoroughly, that all the conditioner is out of the coat. Here it's important that we have all conditioner out, that we don't think we're going to leave some in, because that would be too much for the volume coat. And I'm convinced that the coat now has like absorbed everything it needs to close the cuticle and to be like very, not soft, but you know, very good maintenance. That so you can dry it correctly. And here as well, we will massage the coat and rub the coat, and you will like feel it when the conditioner is out of the coat, and just you will feel from the slippiness will go away. It won't be as squeaky as the last shampoo we did, but you will feel like a small natural feeling, and that's when you can stop rinsing. Voilà. Voilà, we have a towel, and we have a very hard towel, which is like cardboard. And we need to wet it thoroughly. This is our dry mate. So the dry mate, you only like need to go fold it and look how much water it's containing. It's very good to save you using a lot of towels. So the first dry, I always use the dry mate. And now here you will see how much water it absorbed from the first time we're drying. For everything to do with volume coats or curly coats, or like big dogs, or dogs that are used to being grooming a lot, I like to use the blow dryer, like the water blaster, or some people say high philosophy dryer, because it immediately does two things. It blows away all the water and it blows the coat open and it's already half straight. So for me it wins time. And just let's see how Hazar is doing with this dryer. I guess because Hazar is owned by a groomer, he's used to this dryer. If not, I can also use another dryer, but let's see what he does. So that was the first part, and now I'm just going to put my dry mate there, and I'm going to go and get Hazar with a towel. Here we go. Voila. And now we can, most of the water is out now, and we can just dry a bit. And we can still use the blaster, but first let's do the head a bit with the towel, because I don't really go close to the head with the blaster. Voila. Not because it's necessary, but you see me using the table, the lead, because I'm afraid when I turn around to get the dryer, a Hazar will jump off the table. I know it's like something we do when we have been grooming professionally, and I don't like to take any risks. So I know Hazar is very used to being groomed and very used to being on the table, but for me, if I just turn around and 1 second later Hazar jumps from the table, he can break a leg, or so I'm very afraid of all things like this. So that's why you see me putting on the lead. Eh, Hazar? Now the water blaster is done. Most of the water is gone, and Hazar is just like not very wet, but also not very dry. It's like a bit humid. And now it's very important. We use the stand dryer with the hot air, or not really hot, but the warm air. And each time now we have to take a part of the hair and pull it so it straightens. And this is thanks to the angulation in the slicker pin that we can do that. So this angulation, we can grab the coat and pull it, and with the warm air straighten it. I will first use the Tougher Than Tangles regular, and then the show coat slicker. I'm using the show coat slicker as second because its pins are much finer, and there's a lot of pins here, also very short next to each other. And with this we can grab more hair, and the angulation is perfect for pulling and fluffing up perfectly. Okay, let's start. So here, it's like important we see where the hair opens up. And when the hair opens up here, we use the slicker brush to open up the coat and to make sure it's all nice and straight. It's also important here we brush in all kind of directions, and we make sure that the nozzle of the dryer is well aimed at the right spot. And only brush where the coat opens. Pull the hair in all the directions. So now the second shoulder. So see, I'm gonna like turn the leg around. And when the front's done, I'm gonna like turn his elbow to the back. And here I can also go under the armpit. So now Hazar is actually ready to start scissoring or shaving. And actually, I didn't want to cut off that nice long hair with the clippers because I wanted to show you some tricks with the Laguna. So we're now first gonna play a bit before we actually are going to cut off the coat with the clippers. I want to show you this because for me, this is the most important thing. Each time I go in the coat with my comb, it's not difficult. It's gliding through the coat. I can just lift the coat. And then if we open up the coat, all the coat is nice and straight. There's no curls in there. And actually, when we start scissoring, it will be very easy to have a beautiful finish because all the hairs are very separated and every single hair strand is very straight. So what we do is we first like check our work with a comb with lots of pins, and then maybe with a slightly finer comb we check our work, and then just before we scissor with a scissoring comb, and the scissoring comb has like needles of pins. They're actually called piano pins. And the pins are very, very narrow, they're very thin, and there's lots of pins next to each other. And when we finish this side, we turn the comb around and we do it once more with this side. This side will make sure that all the hairs are very straight before we scissor, and because of this, we'll have a very good finish. So I know Hazar needed to be short, but I wanted to play with these blades. And here you see which blades. So here, this is a 12 millimeter, a 9 millimeter, a 6 millimeter. This is medium and fine. This is like for faces and for to go very short. But we also have the 6, the 3, the 9, and the 12 millimeter like this. So this is very easy to use. This is the 12 millimeter. So here with the piece sticking out, I'm gonna stick it in here, and yes, like this, and then just close it. And now it's the two pieces are very stuck to the machine, and I can just play around. And let's see how good it is. So now I can just do this. If you want a teddy bear look, so now this is like done for the first time, and if we would be happy with this look, we would just have to like comb it up and then go over the coat a few times with a scissor. And in no time at all, we would have a teddy look. So I've done the first side with the 12 millimeter attachment comb, and I just want to now stylize the other side, just freehand, because this you can also do with the clipper. So for people which are liking this clipper without any attachment comb, I just want to show you what the clipper can do. You can just stylize the coat without using an attachment comb. And for me, this is like wonderful. You can just steadily go over the coat. And you can go as deep as you like without using the attachment comb. And that's exactly what I wanted to show you, because this is like a pearl under the skies, this clipper. It's going very fast. It has 7,000 RPM. And just to stylize the coat, you can do lots of things with this clipper. So you have to be a bit careful not to go too deep where you don't want to go too deep. I'm just playing around now. I'm not really working. I know this is a good clipper to do these things, and it's just fun. Also, it's not finished. Here we also have to now start combing and then go over it a few times with the scissor. But it's proven now that it's a fantastic clipper also for stylizing the coat without any attachment combs. But Hazar is here to be done commercially, and now is actually the time is here to do Hazar commercially. I just wanted to show you the two parts before, but now let's just change the blade. By changing the blade is very easy. just clip it off and then putting it back. All blades have like a lid here, and just you need to put the lid here, then hold it with your finger and then close it. And the clipper has 2 speeds. This is like 5,000, and when you hit the button it's like 7,000 RPM. But to go fast, I think I'm going to use the 7,000 RPM. So here I'm just going to clip everything off until the legs. Also between the front legs I'm going to go short. So it's very easy. I'm just going over the coat now, and I'm like with the flat area going like I'm just like doing this with the clipper, and I'm just going over it. I have to say, if you are clipping short, it's always very, very quick and very easy. But since we're doing this with a 12 millimeter, the hair has to feed through these combs, and the longer you shave, the more difficult it is. So you do need to go over the coat a few times to have a good result. And you can also like lift up. So here as well, as you can see, I'm having no line, but I'm like flying over here, and then I'm going like taking the points. So here I'm already like having a shaved, styled foot or leg. It's not like I'm stopping somewhere and creating a line. I'm like going straight down. So it's a fluent line I have, and then in the second part I can just do the legs. Next part is going over the legs, also with the Laguna clipper, but before we do that I want to make sure I can easy go through the coat with the comb, because if there's one like little tangle or a few hairs over each other, you can create a hole, and that's absolutely not what I want. So voila. I was lucky last night because I made some drawings, and I made this drawing just to show you the style we are going to do. It's very commercial, as you can see. The poodle has a quite big body and very short legs. So it's important for me to have a look under all the hair, and here you see the naked dog. And you also see like here everything is like extra short and only a bit hair on the legs. And here is the drawing of the poodle again. And here I just want to show you like his skeleton and where the angulations is, because for me that's like always very important, even commercial work. So this is the front angulation. So that's also one of the reasons why here we always want to scissor very short, because when you are very short here, then you can make a straight line down. Here it's important for me to have a straight back. The angulation is very important because here we see the back angulation, and here the back itself from the dog, I like it also like always to see if it's nice and horizontal. Let's go further, and now you're gonna say, what's that, Kitty? I live in Belgium, and one of the Belgian specialities is French fries. And this is French fries. And when I learned how to groom dogs like in 1980, my teacher was saying to me, don't ever scissor dog legs like French fries, a bag of French fries, because this is wide and this goes narrow. So now I'm just gonna pass that on to everybody who's listening today. And so I'm asking you never to scissor a dog where it's wide at top and it's very narrow at the bottom. And let me show you this. I made this drawing with OpenIA. This is a West Highland White Terrier, and it's all very lovely, but it's like very narrow feet, and it's actually very badly groomed. So just don't ever groom like this, where you see the very stilted, narrow legs. And this slide shows you, again, a good one, a good scissoring one, a good style. And this one is not elegant. It's got the wide feet. And here now I will show you again the hairs underneath, or the dog underneath. This is the dog underneath. And here exactly you see the red part where we kept the hair, and here you see how wide it is and how narrow it is here. So this is scissored very wrong, and this is scissored very correct. And now the hairs will disappear again, and you will see another time the coat. Also notice the hock here and the hock here. This is like very straight, and here you see a nice angulation in the dog. It's much more stylish. And now the front view. Also here, this is the good drawing, and here is the non such elegant grooming. Here again, you see the feet. They are not very tapered, but they are a bit more wider at the bottom than the front. And here again, you can see the hairs and the difference between the good one and the bad one. And now let's have a look at the different heads I draw. As you can see here, the first one is the correct one. And then we have the head, which is a little bit shorter. The difference is here, it's like with a little cap. And actually, poodles should have a little cap. So you see the eyes from under the cap, and it's more elegant. But sometimes the customer asks for short. So this is still a little okay, but this is really not okay. So here we start just at the back of the head, and we start scissoring just like a small ball. No, this is like not okay. And also this is like very high here and then narrow here. If you see, this is more elegant and you know, in balance, and this has much more style. So now I'm gonna do the legs, because Hazard needs to be, you know, commercial. So I'm just gonna go over the legs with my 12mm. And the advantage is, if you use these attachment combs, they are like everywhere the same length. And you can go like everywhere, the front, the sides of the legs. And yes, you still need to scissor, but the length is going to be the same everywhere. And it's going to be nice and round. Now the inside, so just make sure you do it everywhere. Outside, backwards, inside, and now the front for the front legs. First I'm going to do the side, then the back, and the front, and then the inside of the front. So the setting is, it's not even on turbo because this is like turbo, so it's fine like this because Hazard doesn't have really big coat, and the setting is here all the way to the front with the 12mm attachment comb. And the secret is the preparation. The secret is, like, if the hair is all straight, you can do this. And if it's nicely washed and pre-brushed and all very nice without any curls or tangles, it's perfectly possible to do this. It's the only way the attachment combs will work as well. Voila. So now it's not finished, but now if we start scissoring, we won't have a lot of work anymore because now we have like the length, and now we can just go scissoring and it's gonna go fast. So now I've just combed everything down, and I'm just gonna follow the coat. And here where we scissored, I'm going to put the scissors and go all the way around. We can do that a few times. Again, combing everything down, following with your hand. Yes, and now making sure all the hairs. And I'm holding the scissor a certain way. I'm holding the scissor like the way of the foot. I'm not holding the scissor like that, of course, or you'd go too short. And I'm making sure I have all the hairs which are sticking out with me. And like here, look, there's a bit sticking out. I'm gonna do that. Voila. Another way you can do this is with the clipper itself. Let me show you. That's how groomers used to do it. You do it like this. Okay, that's the back side. You follow it. Come here. So now I'm just going down until the line which we did before. And as you can see, look, it's also got a nice finish. If you want, you can do the same thing now, which we done on the other side with the scissor. We can just do the tour, so there's no one hair sticking out. But usually when you do it with the clipper, you have a very nice finish. Okay, so now the two bottom pieces are done, and now I'm just going to comb everything upwards. It would be very easy to comb everything up and start scissoring this way, but then I can hold the paw like curved, or the dog stands naturally crooked feet. So the best part, or the best way to scissor this nicely, is when you stack the dog up so he's standing straight, and then you look from the side and you make the front a straight line. And then you can do the same for the back. Well, because I'm standing now on this side of the dog, and then I could stand here and do the same, because now I see the side, and I can also from this angle do the inside of the leg. And now I like have a view if the dog is standing up. If he's standing up and if his small legs are straight, and this way it's safer to go grooming, because when you hold like this, yes, you can do it a bit, but you don't see, if you hold the dog like this, you don't see how he's standing or how crooked his legs are. And your legs are very straight, so it's not even a problem. He's a very beautiful dog, very behaved on the table, thanks to Melanie. So here too, I'm doing now I'm standing in the front and I'm doing the two sides. I'm now going to do the front and the back. Here like this. And now we have the lines. If you like to hold the paw, now we have the lines, we can do some finishing, holding up the foot, although it's not really necessary, but if you like doing this, you can, because now you can't really go very, very wrong anymore, because you've created the line you need. So this is what I did with the clipper, and this part here can go straight, so it's all a bit natural. And here the front can go towards the legs. I like to go short here. Look if you see it from here. So let me explain what I did. So I went short here, even this hair can all go. So this is going in, then naturally you have the dog's chest here. So that's why I go short here until the chest bone. From the chest bone I like to follow the natural line of the dog, which is the front here. And this is the chest bone, like here. And then I go to that point here. And from there on, I want to have a straight line down to the leg. So it's important that, for me, if you have a commercial dog, that you use the scissoring comb, just first the wide part and then the narrow part. And this here will make sure that all the hairs are sticking out very much. And then I like to do this line first. This is the line which we were shaving. So I'm going to go over the line. I also like to do this just above the eye. And make sure that this hair is like short. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Here as well, above the eye. Here. And then we go from there. Now we know we have the two lines. And I like it when you have a bit of hair in front of the eyes. So for me, it's important also to hold the nose straight. So I hold the nose like horizontally. And then when we're doing this, we can go scissoring the neck vertically. Yeah, this is vertical and this is horizontal. And this is the base I use to groom the dog's face and head. Of course, now I'm doing a commercial line, so this line can go here shorter, but I try to keep this line still straight. And also the other side. And to do the head, I want to do also here the neck part and the shoulder part. So because now like this bottom part is done, but now it needs to like blend into the head. So I'm gradually going upwards, but I'm making sure that this part is well connected to the head. So again, I'm keeping my lines like nose is horizontal, neck is vertical, and this is like a flat area. Now I'm going to push everything on the other side. And now I'm just going to go over this side. For the finishing, we can easily use a curved scissor. It's actually important you see the head from all sides, and you keep on like going round and round and round. And here I've actually twisted my scissor on the other direction. So now I'm going to look from the top part, if that's all nice and smooth, no hair sticking out. And now I'm just going to do round ears. Sorry, Melanie. I think they were shaved last time. So when you do this, it's important you just comb the hair in all the directions, like here as well. And then make sure there's nothing sticking out. I usually don't use curved blades because personally I think the blades are never totally the same and they're not fluent, but this is our Spark series, Yento scissors, and these blades are made from AUS 7 steel, Japanese steel, and the reason why I like using them is to curve the blades. It's made with a robot who curves the blades perfectly, every time the same level and the same curve. And what is it? If you open and close the scissor, you have no resistance, and it's just very light, and it's just very fun to use the scissor because, you know, we as groomers, we do this. We do this like in 1 hour. We go 1,000 times up and, you know, open and close thousands of times, and that's what we need to have a nice finish. But to do that, if you don't have a scissor who fluently and without any resistance can do this, it's very hard on our fingers and on our muscles. So it's very happy to be using such good scissors. So for doing this, it's important you have 2 times the same. So like you see here, I'm struggling a bit because the hair is like, doesn't want to fold. It's also difficult to make it nice on the inside. So here you see me like combing the hair backwards and then making sure it's also not sticking out. And now we need to finish the back. So for the people who are doubting, or if you are a student and you don't have a lot of self-confidence, you can do it with you can do it many different ways. You can do it with a chunker. You can do it with a straight scissor, but you can also do this. Or even this. And actually, when you're grooming, you just have to feel comfortable and happy. And if you arrive where you want to arrive, where you're happy about the finishing, it's all we need. So it's important that there's not much hair sticking out after you finished. But how we arrive there, well, sometimes now I'm using the chunker because Azar is panting and he's going up and down. So for me, when you have a dog which is panting and going upside down, if you do that with a normal scissor, it's like possible you suddenly have a hole, and then you need to like adjust everything again. And so if you feel more comfortable, just use a chunker. Now I'm holding Hazar's face a bit, so now I can just carry on with the normal scissor. So here I'm doing around the bevel with the scissor. Because we're all scissor mad. We can perfectly do that with a clipper, but mini groomers, I prefer to do it with the scissor. So now here for the back, we comb everything down. And actually I like to, like this line, carry on. So I'm gonna put my scissor here and I'm gonna. So now I can use straight scissors. So then when I'm finished with the bottom part, I can take a longer scissor because then I can use my whole blade to do the top part. It's very easy actually. Small parts, scissor with a short blade, like if you're fiddling around here. And then styling, like here now I want to have some angulation, so I'm actually going to take the foot and push his leg down to see where he falls. So this is where he falls, and here I'm going to go all the way short, and I'm going to use the chunker. I'm going to do that a few times, so I need my comb. So here I have to scissor vertically, and here I've scissored right in, so this is my angulation. Although it's a commercial, it's not important. It needs to have the right angles in the right place. And just if you follow the dog line, this dog is very well built. So here you see the nice angulation. The tail, I'm just gonna scissor everything which is sticking out. I like to have the tail, this part, I want it short, and I don't really have a preference. Just don't want it very girly, shall I say. So I'm just gonna maybe comb it a few times and just maybe a bit of a carrot on the front. So here I'm just gonna lift up the foot and go right short where the fold is. You see me sometimes with my small goat hair brush. This is because using these fine scissors with a very fine metal, and they're very smooth, but sometimes they get in between here some hairs. So I like to, I'm very sensitive about hairs in between my scissors. So now and then I use the small soft brush to get all the hairs out. Here as well on the inside, just use your comb a few times to make sure all the hairs you have with you, and there's no hair sticking out. And to my surprise, the scissor I like the most in this grooming is the curved one. It's very soft. Even you can do everything with a straight scissor. I've enjoyed using this scissor very much. And here you see a finished hussar. I have had fun scissoring or working with hussar, and I enjoyed this video very much. I hope it also helped you and you've learned some tricks and tips for grooming easier and faster.